Welcome back to the Lich Please podcast, where we talk all things D&D. It's me, Alex, and Johan. We're back for some D&D talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, personally for me, big D&D news. Dimension 20's first D&D tour.
Yeah.
In the UK, which I was surprised at, to be fair.
Yeah. I didn't know that was going to be a thing until you said it to
No,
the group chat.
Yeah. I didn't until I saw it on Facebook. I was like, oh, shit. I've booked tickets. I've got tickets. I'm going.
Fair enough. I have not. I'm not going. I don't think I can.
I think there's still some, because General Sale was only yesterday.
Oh, where are they? Where are they doing it?
London, Manchester, Glasgow, and Dublin, maybe.
Oh, I didn't expect Dublin. Which one are you going to?
Manchester.
Oh yeah, I guess Manchester's closer.
Easiest for me. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. See, I'd go to the London one, obviously.
Yeah. Traitor.
But yeah, no, it looks exciting. That's when you can recruit Brennan to come on the podcast. But by then we'll be like world famous. We'll probably get invited.
But by then we'll have had him on. We'll be good friends by then.
Yeah, I think by then he'll invite us onto the tour for free. You'll probably get refunded your tickets.
Maybe. Who knows?
So yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, because they've not released any information about what campaigns they'll be doing on these tours.
Oh, see, I thought it was going to be like a general talking thing as well. I didn't know it'd be like campaign stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a live campaign.
That's pretty cool.
So that'd be fun. But yeah. I splurged a little. I got the VIP ticket. So there's a. I'm going to go to the after party. Where they talk about the episode afterwards.
Oh, that's cool.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, treated myself a little bit, because I'll be done with my masters then.
Yeah.
I've hopefully started my PhD.
Maybe they'll let you be like an NPC. Maybe I'll just be like,
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, if you're listening, Brennan, I'd love to be an NPC. I'd love to join.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. It does look interesting, to be fair. But I doubt I'll go. It's just getting into London's a pain. I'm not gonna lie. So.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So, cool. We actually kind of struggled to come up with what to talk about today, considering we didn't have a session on Monday. I was kind of hoping we'd have something to talk about that happened, but we didn't have a session.
No, we just had some little games night.
Was you cheated in? I'm determined to admit.
I'm a professional online golf player. That's all there is to it.
For anyone listening, Alex got a score of what?
-3.
-3 on the golf game on Discord, which I refuse to believe is possible.
It's very possible, because I am the world's greatest at this golf game on Discord. That's all you gotta know. Professional. If there was a league, I'd be top. That's it. Like Tiger Woods of Discord golf.
But it's even worse, because my Wednesday session didn't play either. I've had no D&D this week.
I had my other Monday session, which is actually a good session, to be fair. I think that was was it a combat session? Yeah, it was. Oh my god! And there was the biggest plot twist at the end. So this session was the 1 year anniversary of this campaign. So we did a cameras on thing. So we all saw each other's amazing faces. Where I learned this camera angle. Yeah, first time. Because they're like, well, so the DM knew a few people, because a few of them were from when he went to college, like American college. And then one was like his girlfriend's brother or cousin. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I mean, it's likely they're listening, so don't quote me on that. I'll probably get told. But some relation. He knew some. Yeah, he knew some of them by face, but obviously I didn't know anyone, and they didn't know me by face. So most of us had cameras on, but it wasn't like that. We didn't have the full party, because people have work and stuff. And just you can't come. But yeah, so we did a camera on session, it's pretty cool. And then yeah, there was some combat. There's some difficult combat. Like we had some. I don't know the exact enemy. It might be the homebrew one, but there were these like guards per se, and they were like resistant to most magic. Which is sad because I'm just the caster in that one. I'm straight up just a sorcerer and a warlock.
You've just re-rolled, right?
Yeah. This is my new character, so but it's all right because we got interesting weapons and stuff because like before my other character he had a homebrew weapon that he got someone to make for him at the village, and it was sick, by the way. It was like this javelin that comes back to your hand. And then it has 5 charges, right? That you can do like either extra frost damage, thunder damage. Is it thunder? Yeah, and fire damage, which was sick. But the only way to get the charges back, it wasn't by resting. You had to kill something. So it was actually a really fun weapon.
That's really cool. That's interesting.
Yeah. But obviously, when I died, I didn't get it. But everyone had a cool weapon, so I got a few things. I got some flying. Basically, I'm really squishy. This character is 12 AC, so like squishy. Like I just get hit by everything, especially when you're level 10. You just do get hit by everything. So I got winged boots and a ring of invisibility, basically just to make sure I get hit less. And then I just got a new weapon, which is cool. It's a rapier because I'm proficient with like those weapons per se, like the martial weapons and stuff. I think because of my it's a sorcerer, warlock stuff.
So you're Hexblade then?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I took the levels in Hexblade. So it's a really cool one, and then I can do like 1 per long rest. I'm gonna say. I can do like an extra 3d6 radiant damage. It's called a Rapier of the Thousand Moons. It's sick.
Cool.
Yeah. I can either. I'm going to read it right now. I'll tell you. I can either. Yeah. So once per day. So like once per day. I can do an extra damage of 3d6 radiant damage, and I blind the target for a round, or I can grant myself resistance to all damage for a round when activated. So it's pretty cool. It basically helps me not be squishy.
That's really good. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I mean, everyone else has like cool weapons, right? So like the Shagriff, which is like one of the start. So there was 3 of us at the start. My original character, Shagriff and Rathor. Shagriff is, I'm going to say a dwarf. I'm not sure. It's either a dwarf or a gnome. I think it's a dwarf. I'm confident she's a dwarf, right?
Taking a risk there.
Yeah. But she's got an axe that is like extremely racist to orcs. Like you can hear it be racist to orcs to Shagriff. But it's like a cool axe. I don't know what Rathor has because honestly, I've never seen him use it, or he might have used it. I don't know. But everyone's like, and then to be fair, I think I only know what a Shagriff's cool weapon is. I genuinely don't know what the rest of the parties is, but like I obviously
nice.
Yeah, mine is known, and I've got mine, but I have magic as well, so that helps. But yeah, we had a really cool session, and then at the end of session, this was an insane reveal. So we did a one shot a while ago to develop for the story.
That's cool.
And the reason we did the one shot is because the place we were going to was going to be where the one shot had taken place, because the one shot was many, many years before, right? So we get there, and it's like cool stuff has happened, but we assumed all our characters from the one shot to be dead, because this was years ago. And then at the end, so one of the characters was a blind beholder called Bryce, and he was a baker, right? Insane one shot. It was like a homebrew thing. He had like a 25 AC instead of like the 45, whatever it is, right? But,
okay, right, nice.
Yeah. And then at the end, Bosh, he just pops up. Just right at the end, we go into the room, and he's like the big boss of this place we've gone to. And we're like, either meant to kill the big boss or just learn information of this place. And like, I was fucking shocked. That was absolutely insane. My mind
That sounds
was
pretty good, though.
blown.
That's so sick.
Yeah, because I mean, he's a nice he's a nice guy, Bryce the Baker. But yeah, I was shocked. I was flabbergasted. Yeah, facial expressions were crazy when it happened. But yeah, it was actually a really good session. Yeah. So next session should
That's
be
really good.
interesting.
I think in terms of homebrew weapons for the R campaign, I've made 2. There's your one, the cursed one, which you've currently got, the Paranoia.
Yeah.
Blade of Paranoia. And there's the one that Lashara found, the Dagger of Nightshade.
Oh, that's a homebrew one? Oh, that's pretty cool. I thought that was just like a default.
I mean, it might be, but I've made it.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It fully could be an actual weapon from somewhere. I might have thought I've come up with the name for it, and it's just like, oh, that's an actual weapon that I've read somewhere once and forgotten about, and like internalized in some part of my brain. But the one that I have made in the past, and this is a very cool weapon. It's the Plane Blade. It's a blade that can tear into the different planes.
Oh.
But once you touch it, you can't let it go. And every use gets you a level of exhaustion.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah. So you get 6 uses and you die, and it's very difficult to get rid of this blade because it like spurns into your skin. Unfortunately, none of the players touched it. None of them used it, which is a shame. I was kind of hoping one of them would like grab it. I mean, if Dan had been there, Dan would have grabbed it.
If Dan had been there and no one had told him what it was beforehand, yes, he would have grabbed that. Yeah.
It did do a lot of damage. It did 10d8 damage with each swing.
That is a lot. To be fair, that is quite a
and
bit of damage.
It was meant to be a lot of damage. But I've got some ideas for Magic Arms this campaign. You've not got there yet.
Yeah, I've got the homebrew pirate weapons, like the hook,
nice.
The hook and the peg leg. They are in fact weapons, and they count.
Yeah,
and you can use them as a bonus action, and it's going to be cool. So it's not a lot of damage. It's like 1d4. It's not a lot. But it's a bonus action. It's an extra 1d4 for a bonus action. I mean, it is what it is. Right?
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Of the characters we've learnt about being made, I do really like Sean, one of our players' idea. I said their name. I'm going to try and not say their name. Really cool idea. The centaur with 4 peg legs is incredible.
It's a great
so
idea.
Good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it so much. But their other idea as well was great.
What was it? It was
Kenku Parrot.
Yeah.
Really cool idea.
It wasn't chosen was no speaking. It'd be hard to speak.
Yeah.
Right.
And they like speaking.
Yeah. So
but I do as a DM I love their dialogue. It's so good. You never know what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
They're very good.
No, the new character should be fun, right? So 4 peg legs is interesting. So I'm going to find some rules for like movement and stuff because it's great, but 4 peg legs is like, some movement may be impeded.
I guess
I can't
centaurs, I think, get a bonus in speed, so you could just reduce it to 30 feet.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then I threw the offer out of magical peg legs, but I think they said they're going to upgrade it as it goes, right? Because this is like a magic pirate campaign, as opposed because like I can't be bothered to make logic for like spells and stuff, so I'm just going to call it a magic one, right? Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, so there'll be like magic weapons on the ship and stuff that I'll you guys will find out about. I won't say anything about the magic, but
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. It should be good.
I think everyone apart from one person's or maybe 2 people will go as
old people.
old people.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm going to make like another whole old person thing just for you guys, just for the whole fact that you're all going to be old.
Yes, yes.
The old
I'm so
person's like,
excited.
it's just going to be something else.
I think what could be funnier is if the only young person is the captain, and they're just
Yeah.
constantly exasperated by like this ancient crew that they've got. Just
Yeah.
being like, I've been sailing the seas before you were born, boy. But the captain is an elf and he's like hundreds of years old. And he's just like, no.
I'm gonna so I made like homebrew some races because it dawned on me Siren is not a race. It doesn't
That's
exist.
true. That's true. That siren could be good.
Yeah. So
I mean, I know why you're thinking of Homer and a siren, but
yeah, and then I've
we
had
won't reveal
obviously
too
like
much.
a few ideas for the subclasses, right? You've done your subclass, which like I did
I
not
might
expect
change it.
it to happen straight away. I just saw the message like, oh damn, he's done it already. I was like, okay, fair. I don't have to do any work.
I had an idea for it when I was procrastinating work one day, and I was like, "This is a cool idea."
Yeah,
I'll write
it did
down.
look
I
cool.
might change it.
Yeah,
Some of the things, like there's one of them I'm not sure about, the squid ink one, which blocks out like magical darkness. I think that may be a little powerful for like level 6 or whatever it was.
yeah, potentially. There's probably some scaling to do, but it was
There's
an
definitely
interesting
scaling to
subclass.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of scaling to
I
do.
just read it to get the rough like outlines of the class that you wanted, basically.
I mean, we
'cause
kind of
obviously they're scaling.
stuck to what we talked about last week with like the spectral tentacles and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I'm gonna there will be a bard siren subclass. I think is what
That'd be cool.
We've
That'd be
opted
really
for.
cool.
It was either that or druid, but then like bard makes more sense because sirens, right? So
absolutely, bard makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
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 And then there will be some other ones. I'm definitely going to make just a fighter subclass for shooting things. There's also some like homebrew feats that I found which will help because it will be gun related feats, and that's going to be important because guns will be important.
There is one, right? There's the gunslinger subclass.
There's the swashbuckler. For rogue,
I'm sure there's a gunslinger subclass.
I think there is a gunslinger subclass. Yeah,
I think it's critical role content on D&D and Beyond. If you check that or something, it might
be.
There's something like that.
Yeah, but
yeah, I think it will definitely need updating for a pirate.
Yeah, no, definitely guns will be important, and then for crew positions. As opposed, when I searched up actual crew positions in like real life piracy, right? Like back in the day, these were crew positions. I got confused because
I kind of have an idea of what happens.
Yeah, I know they're rough, but there's so many positions that are just the same.
There is.
So I'm gonna do one piece crew positions. Whoa!
That's fair.
Because it's so much easier.
So
words.
There's like the captain who gets voted in by the crew. There's the
is this the One Piece stuff or is this the pirate ones?
I think this is real. I could be wrong.
Yeah. There's the captain.
First mate is chosen by captain, right?
Yeah. And
quartermaster is voted in by the crew.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then bosun is another role.
I'm gonna say yes. There's also like lookout, but that's just like any person who gets put on.
Someone who's got good eyes. Which is not going to be my old lady.
And then there's something. There's another position which I can't remember the name of, and it's basically the same as first mate. It's got the same description. They do the same thing, so I don't really get it. Yeah, there's just a few that are the same, and I was just like, you know what? I know the One Piece ones really well. We're just going to do the One Piece ones.
What are the One Piece ones? Fill me in, tell me.
Okay, there's Captain, obviously.
Captain, yeah.
Then First Mate.
I think we've essentially voted for.
Yeah, essentially. There's Captain and First Mate. They stay the same. Shipwright. because the ship will need fixing, and someone on the ship will fix the ship. Like it makes sense. What else? There's sniper, right? Like that is not I doubt the actual position is called sniper, but like on every crew they've got someone who's good at shooting things, right? So I'm just gonna call it sniper. You don't have to have that. It's not really that important, right? There's navigator, which is definitely important. Because obviously someone has to know to navigate.
Has to navigate, yeah.
Yeah. Helmsman, which is
the steery person.
Yeah. Which is important.
Who drives the ship? Drives the ship? Sails the ship? No, that doesn't sound right. One of our players works on a boat. You can tell us. Actually, you can tell us what it is.
Yeah.
Please tell us. Is it drives?
I feel like it should be drives, but it's not. It might be sails.
You know what?
But
Fuck it. Comment down below if it's drives the
ship. And then there's like entertainment / music, basically musician.
I'll take that role.
And doctor.
That's my old lady.
Yeah, can't forget doctor as well, and cook for that matter. I've just forgotten a bunch. Doctor, cook, and musician. They are important to some degree.
My old lady will be cook, doctor.
Yeah, nice. I know who the musician will be.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. So, but like, obviously, not all of them are incredibly important, and there will be NPCs for crew because that's like logically, 6 people aren't going to be able to run an entire fucking boat. So
that's true. What kind of boat are we getting? Are we getting a man of war?
Oh God, not at the start. No, God no. just between the people listening to the podcast. So if the people are playing the campaign, it's the first session. You will be boatless. I don't know how long that will last, but you will be without a boat.
We're not pirates, then, are we? We're just all people on. Right. Okay. No. I can agree with that.
There's an outline to why you'll be without the boat in the first session, but I don't want to say too much because then you'll just plan for the first session. But the first session you will be boatless. Like not for the whole session, I doubt it. But for a little bit you will be.
Oh no. Yeah. I know one of our players will find a way to get a boat almost immediately.
I would not be surprised.
The peg-legged centaur. Will absolutely immediately be working on a plan to get us a boat.
Yeah, I would not be surprised, like at all, if you guys got a boat in like the first 20 minutes. It's not like I'm going to go out my way to make it difficult to get a boat.
No,
it's just you won't have one at the start. But you guys would. I don't know how we're going to do the outline of the crew works. Like, I don't know if you guys want to have met each other before and been a pirate crew, or like met for your first time and now you're making a pirate crew.
I think that's a conversation we need to have.
Yeah, because I feel like it'd just be easier if you guys were a pirate crew before. Because if you're all old people, you can still have a backstory before you met each other because you're old.
That's true.
So there's still time for other stuff. That's basically what I'm going off of.
I think that works.
Yeah, so I've got most of the rules down.
That's good.
There will be some house rules and stuff that like I'm going to find on like Reddit. I'm going to find some house rules I think are fun. You guys have already seen the that list I've got for if you crit fail on a shooting weapon, on a gunpowder weapon.
Oh yes, that was really cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make one for stabby weapons and other things.
Stabby weapon,
accurate terminology. But yeah, it should be fun. I've got a lot of the rules, and I've got the premise down. Now I've just got to deep dive the lore a bit. Yeah. But it should be good, hopefully.
Something we've both kind of spoken about in the past is our opinions on paid DMing. Because you do, both your campaigns are free, right? And both ones I'm in, I DM for free. Why don't you tell the people our opinions on paid DMing?
I don't like paid DMing. I get why people. Here's the thing: I get why people do it, right? If you are making your own homebrew world, you've put in a lot of hours and you've bought things. I get why you might ask someone to pay, right? I can get that, but like I don't stand for it. I just understand it, right? Like I don't agree.
I'm of the same opinion. I mean, I homebrew because I enjoy the world building aspect of it and the the aspect of like managing the world and like
Yeah.
I guess in a way it's quite egotistical because they're like controlling everything and quite like torturing people. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, I couldn't imagine paying for it because it changes the dynamic, right?
That's what I was thinking. Like, it just does change everything. In terms
Because
of
the
how
minute
like the
if I
campaign
go,
works.
if you go, oh, I don't like that aspect of your world, I go, well, fuck you, it's my world. If you're like, if you don't like it, you can leave. This is the way I DM. If you've paid for it, I'm then your customer.
Yeah.
And it blurs the lines for me horribly.
I think if you're going to charge for like your world, make a book, set it as the source book or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't be doing no paid campaign. If
no.
set it as a source book and then run your own campaign for free. Like, cool. You know, you want to make some money, sell the source book.
You can make your players buy the source book.
Exactly, like problem solved. Money. It's just I hate paid DMing so much. And what I hate the most is paid DMing for modules. That really annoys me because
no, I agree because that's really predatory.
It's a module. You didn't do anything. Why are you getting people to pay for your DMing skills? They can just go do it for free. Like, and problem solved. Yeah,
especially with things like Roll20 and everything that's around that nowadays. It's so easy to find a free campaign, and there are some amazing DMs that do it for free, like seriously amazing. Why?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. Like I understand why people would believe charging is the right thing, right? But like it could be like a one, for instance, the most I'll accept is like a one-time payment because they've had to buy maps or something online.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead. One-time payment. If you're paying people per session, nah, that's ridiculous. I hate that.
Exactly.
That is absolutely ridiculous. You should not be charging people.
Or it's like, I want to DM this module. Would you guys mind chipping in to help me buy the book?
Yeah. Something like that.
That is more than fair.
Yeah.
Because it's not paid DMing then, it's we as a group are buying this so we can all have fun.
Yeah.
And the D&D tagline is a game between friends.
Yeah, literally.
It's not a game between consumer and producer.
Yeah, I charging people for a camp. Like, the thing is as well, most people don't, like, who will get into, if you get into D&D at the start, like, it's the first time doing D&D, believe it or not, a lot of people charge for campaigns. So it'll be hard to, like, sometimes it'd just be off-putting for them. They'll think, like, oh, everyone's going to charge for a campaign. Oh, no, I can't play D&D.
Yeah. People are under the impression that it costs, you have to spend money to play D&D. Okay, once you start collecting dice, it gets expensive. It can get really expensive.
I'm not there yet.
But you can find like a dice roller online that's, it's going to have some discrepancies because it's an algorithm. It's not always perfect, but it's better than, you can play for free. All you need, piece of paper, some friends, online dice roller.
Yeah, basically. I don't even think I've spent max like 10 quid on D&D, and that 10 quid is all races or subclasses I've wanted to use. That's it.
Oh, I don't want to say.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's dice and stuff.
So I have the master subscription for D&D and Beyond.
Oh, I forgot about subscriptions. Yeah, it's like 40 quid then, or something. Like however much the yearly is.
It's not a huge amount, to be fair. No, it's pretty reasonable to share my content with you guys because I've got the books.
Yeah,
and then I've obviously bought the books. I normally only buy them in a sale though when they are like down from 40 quid to like £19. I'm like, oh, I'll get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I've only bought like 3 subclasses and a few races and some feats. Yeah, I think that's about it. And obviously the hero subscription. There was a reason I bought that. It's probably because of my crippling obsession with making characters all the time. I make a lot of characters.
Yeah, the unlimited space is very useful.
It's bad. It's bad how often I make characters. I make them so often. I just get bored and think, this will be fun to make. Which is why I'm scared for Baldur's Gate, because it's 5:00 today. It comes on PlayStation for the pre-orders, the early access, and I'm going to be stuck multiple hours. My plan is to make multiple different saves with multiple different characters and then roll, and that will be the first save I start for Baldur's Gate.
That's campaign. Cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, but it's 120 hours for the main campaign, so my life will be consumed, and I'm okay with that. Yes. I'm fine.
That's fine. That's good.
It's what it is. Like, I am so down for 120 hours of D&D content. Like, it is what it is.
It's a little pricey for me right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a hit.
It's a hit to the bank account. I can't warrant right now.
Yeah.
So I think me and my friends are maybe going to get Baldur's Gate 2 or 1 and have a little play on that for a bit until Baldur's Gate 3 decreases in price.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then
I'll straight into Baldur's Gate 3 and then some other game afterwards if I've stopped playing it, which will be unlikely. I'm going to be playing this game so much.
It feels like it's going to be one of those games like Skyrim that's around for years.
Yeah. I think apparently a DLC is already in the works. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, but it's game season, so like I'll be playing that and other games, probably like the new Spider-Man, but Baldur's Gate will take.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one as well. To be fair.
Yeah, should be good. But yeah.
On the topic of, I guess. I'm going to say bad DMing because most of the stories I've read around this are bad DMing. Mm-hmm. DMPCs.
Yes. DMPCs.
Where do you sit on DMPCs? Because I feel like we're going to have a difference of opinion on DMPCs.
I don't mind them. I think they're cool. It depends. Yeah. It depends.
It does. It does.
To be fair, the only other campaign I've been in for a long time, my other one, there's DMPCs. Like, I say DMPCs, they're not really DMPCs. They're like party NPCs. They're kind of DMPCs. They're like in between NPCs and DMPCs, right? Like, they're cool. I don't mind them. It just depends. Like, some DMs will get carried away sometimes, depending if they make a DMPC and not want that DMPC to like die, and they might give it a lot of plot armor or something, and it might be bad. But like, I'm not against it. If it's like a fill-in for a party, sure, that's fine, because like it gives players enough freedom to not think about having to make something to balance the party out. Like, if you had a DMPC cleric, then people wouldn't be so fussed as to having to make like a healing class if they didn't want to, just to balance the party out. That's what, like, I don't think it's too bad.
Yeah. I've had one DMPC. It was kind of like it was a campaign before you joined, which we finished because I wasn't particularly invested in the world anymore. That's why I made Ulador. He was a god who had been cast out by his mother, made a mortal, and he just kind of hung around with. Well, they had to help him because he fucked up.
Yeah.
With something. And he was kind of there, and he was like, I always felt bad because like I'd see it would be my turn, and the monster would have like a couple of hit points left. I'd be like, oh, if I hit it, I'm going to deprive the party of a kill. So I just like he misses. Not even bother rolling, and just like roll. It just became a point where like, what's the point having him around?
Yeah.
I just don't like it, and I think the issue does arise with if you bring your old PC as a DM in. You're going to want to favour them. You're going to want to give them this cool moment, and it just becomes like the players who are actually playing in your campaign become side characters, and that's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah, I definitely get it. But like for my other campaign, we've got quite a big party. Like, it's a very big party. There's a lot of us. And like a lot are NPCs, but like mostly because we recruited them as opposed to like the DM putting them in. Apart from the cleric at the start, but like he straight up said that cleric was just to balance the part, so we didn't have to feel obligated to make
I've
a
done
healer,
things
right?
like that where you have like the ambiguous cleric who doesn't do anything but heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This cleric killed my first character, so it depends how you look at things. That was just bad rolls and unluckiness.
Is that the first like PC death, like permadeath?
Yes. It was actually the first.
The cleric has done more damage than good.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, she's healed a lot, and she revived my character before, like ages ago. But straight up, yeah. That was just unlucky though. Like, it is what it is. I was really sad. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
I remember you messaging the group, and I'm being like, "Oh shit."
I was straight up just. It was fun. It was like what? Because I play with like people in America, so I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I just sat there, just like fuck. It's just dead. Like he won't get to see any of the stuff that happens with the party, and then the other people who were there from the start were particularly sad. I think, specifically Shaygriff, which was made interesting roleplay. But like straight up, I was just like,
Yeah. See, character death, permadeath, is not something we've had to deal with as a DM yet.
not
so
yet.
How did they handle? Like, how did that DM handle it?
That's a great question. This I've got to test my memory now. Pretty well, to be fair. I mean, quite shocked is the word I'd use, because I don't think anyone even didn't think that was going to happen at all. Quite shocked, and then they gave enough time for people to like mourn and get over my character dying, and then afterwards we went into a private call, like after the session ended, to discuss the next steps for my character and stuff, like for making a character and whatnot. So yeah, no, pretty well, to be fair. Yeah, but it was it's a big surprise. Is the
yeah. So I don't know. I've thought a lot about how I'd handle it, how I'd like approach it, and I think the way that a lot of people in, especially the Monday group, play, they get very attached to their characters.
Oh, I'm gonna be, if Dan dies, I think I will enter a depression for like a week. So I'm not ready for that.
I think in that case it would be okay. We're gonna pause the game now. I'm gonna ask possibly you. Damn, I wasn't gonna say the name. we can. Oh, I've said a name. That's fine. We can edit that out. We can remove that.
Yeah. Just put a beep.
That'll be bleep for you. I said a name. You're not going to know. Hopefully, you're not going to know what it is. A person, you, a person in our campaign, and then their friend. I think would probably be the best people to look at the rules. We're going to check back over everything that happened in that fight to make sure that we did everything right, as in rules as written, or as in rules as we have made them.
Yes. No, that makes sense.
Cool. And I, in a way, I don't want it to be mid-battle, someone gets hit by a fireball and is like perma-killed by that. I don't want to do that, because I feel like that denies that person of like saying like a goodbye to that character.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we've got the rule where no one knows the death save, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I actually saw one recently, another rule, which I think is really cool. And I may implement into my campaign, but every time a character makes a death save, you have to recall a memory from that character and just say it out loud. I was like, because it adds to it, so they won't just be bored, like unconscious, waiting for their turn to roll the dice. Cool. They get to role play a bit.
I think, yeah, we'll put that in. I like that. I really do like that.
Yeah, it adds to some role playing, and it makes it a bit more like sentimental, I guess. But I could definitely imagine in our campaign because characters that I could see people crying in the Discord.
I can as well.
I could absolutely see that.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I think I might cry if some of the characters died, because
You're
the
pretty
dynamic
sad.
between the group right now is amazing. I really love the dynamic,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
especially with two of the characters who were kind of sheltered, are like opening up to the party and like trying to involve themselves more. Not
Yeah.
that the players don't themselves. The players are, I think, very invested in like, the group work aspect of things. Just from the way they roleplay, their characters specifically are quite sheltered and closed off,
Okay,
which
yeah,
is really good.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get that. I get
Yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, there's been very interesting interactions.
yeah,
I mean, it's good role playing. To be fair, a lot of the interactions, specifically, I'd say like, um, not to float my own boat or not to toot my own horn. I think Dan and Lashara interactions are always interesting. Um,
yes, very, very
that's
interesting,
always a
very
good one.
interesting, very interesting.
Opposite ends of the spectrum is Dan and Ashara
Absolutely,
interactions.
100%. Yeah, they are
Yeah,
very different.
they
I
are
think
interesting.
I
Or
briefly want to touch on what we're doing with Revivify, how we're changing that in this campaign.
yes,
Because I don't. Because I think it's what this is something Brennan said. He doesn't like the fact that you spend 300 gold on a diamond that brings someone back to life, because the inflation on that diamond would be crazy.
yeah,
Um, so I've kind of changed it in the fact that it becomes more of a ritual to bring someone back. In that you still spend the 300 gold, because I think that is still something that needs to be done.
Mhm.
And it's kind of you each recount a memory of something that happened with that person, that character, and if the spell works, that memory is taken from you. Your favorite memory of that person is taken
Yeah,
from you,
yeah. No,
and we can also
I
do
do really like that.
rolls
Yeah.
to see how well it works. And if you don't want to bring that person back, you can message me and be like, "This isn't the actual favorite."
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
if you want to ensure that that character does not come back, which I think with our group would be entirely roleplay reasons rather than personal reasons, I don't see anyone having a personal vendetta in a group. I don't think I do it with every group, but with you guys, you're close enough that I think that no personal vendetta is going to
I don't
make you
think
not
so.
want to.
I don't see a reason why that would happen. Yeah,
No,
I don't think so. Um, but I think a certain amount of us would not choose their character to be revived, like for the sole purpose of role playing.
I think there's a few people who wouldn't. I think possibly Lila would want to come back.
I
Oh
think
no, maybe not. Given
that's a
their god,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
That's
think they
actually
would.
yeah, that's a good point. Um,
I was just thinking, like story, like plot wise, they might want to come back, but
yeah. To be
given
fair,
their
like,
character's
yeah,
morals, I don't think they would.
nah, I don't think they would
But
either.
that would be a really interesting dynamic, though.
Yeah, because
Like if you guys brought them back.
yeah. To be fair, that make for interesting role play. There's, I mean,
It would.
I don't know if. To be fair, I really don't know enough about people's backstories to be deciding if they're
No,
gonna if
you
they
don't.
think they'll
And we're
come
like,
back.
what, 18, 19 sessions in?
Yeah, genuinely,
And
I think the only do we even fully know anyone's back? I don't think we fully know anybody's backstory,
no,
minus
no backstory
Dan's,
have been.
because
It's kind of strange that the people who you know the most about are kind of the ones who have kept it hidden the longest, and like you knew nothing about for the longest time, but now they are the people you know the most about.
yeah, no, that was that. I think like because my own character, like Dan's backstory, just consists of him not passing the night exam to everyone's knowledge, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, obviously, he was a child and he grew up, but like, I didn't really include any of that in my backstory. All these guys,
it's not relevant.
Yeah, it's genuinely, to Dan, it's the least relevant thing. That man could have gone through hell, and it just wouldn't matter because it has no relevance to Dan at all.
He wouldn't have noticed. He
That's
wouldn't
like,
have noticed.
It wouldn't have been a problem. Like, he could have been born and abandoned, and he would have still grown up to be the same exact person. See, it's just Dan.
I kind of favour the idea that Dan had a really good home life with like a loving mother and father.
Every time I imagine Dan's childhood is exactly what I imagine. He just grew up really well, had loving parents.
Yeah, like his mum like sending him off to like school every day with like a packed lunch in his backpack, and he's like skipping down the street.
Yeah, but genuinely, Dan was definitely had an enjoyable childhood.
Yeah, he had a good childhood. I mean, Finnan definitely had a good, relatively. Finnan had a comfortable childhood. That's not because a good childhood.
Comfortable.
He had a comfortable childhood.
And then I know nothing of any of the others.
You know nothing about anyone else.
Well, I'm kind of assuming like Lila didn't have a fun one.
Possibly not.
Yeah, and
possibly not.
I remember hearing something about Lashara's childhood out of character. So obviously I can't do anything with that information.
You can assume things based on their efforts to raise money for the orphanage.
Yeah. And then like I genuinely know nothing about Tyr or Astra. It is mind-boggling.
No, you don't. You don't.
Nothing. Not a single thing. I don't even know their reasoning for being an adventurer. That's like genuinely, I know nothing. I don't think anyone knows anything. Yeah, I might have to spark up some like backstory conversations. But I say that Dan won't. Dan doesn't care. He's not going to ask. It's not his problem. It's Dan. it's only me who wants to know. Like I want to know, but Dan won't. So I can't. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. And like until they ask me, but even if they ask me, like they know everything. There's nothing to not know. So, so yeah, there's nothing to not know, guys. So to break it to you, Dan has no secrets. Yeah, it's interesting to not know anything about each other for like half a year. It's insane.
It is. Oh, well. It's been a long time. I'm also really enjoying the slow progression.
Yeah.
Like, I know you guys probably aren't.
Yeah. The only reason I'm not, like, if I had gone with a default subclass, right? Like one I didn't make, right? I wouldn't care when we reach level 3. No. It's the fact I've made it and I want to use it is the fact that it's just saddening. It's just like, I made this. I really want to try it. Yeah.
Is it bad for me, the fact that I love that?
I mean, that's fair enough. To be fair, I'm really excited for the mini arcs to get our subclass.
Yeah, that's something we've not talked about.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, I don't like the idea that you just one day wake up with your subclass, which I think is relevant, especially for things like Arcane Trickster Rogue or like Eldritch Knight Fighter or Rune Knight, that one day you can wake up and do magic and it's kind of like, oh, where did that come from?
I agree.
We're going to do like mini subplots to get people to their subclasses.
See, I don't know how easy, I don't even know other people what they're going to choose for their subclass. I'm kind of assuming you do because you asked everyone, I think.
People have an idea. People have ideas. But I'm going to ask them to like, okay, a couple of weeks before we're getting to your bit, what do you want to do, so I can start planning like an interaction or a thing or something that revolves around your character, your backstory to build up around it.
I mean, mine will be quite easy, I think. I mean,
absolutely. I've got an idea for yours already.
Guys are going to be level 3 soon, guys. Yeah.
You'll be level. I'll say that we'll probably be a higher level in your campaign before you're level 3 in mine.
Well, you start level 3 in my campaign, so that's already standing true.
Okay,
that is going to be the case.
Some people might hit level 3 before the break.
Yeah. So,
Others might not.
mine will tie in really easy. I can imagine it would be very easy. It would have been very easy to come up with an idea to tie my character into how he's getting his subclass. Like I can just imagine that it was just not
It is.
difficult.
It's not too difficult, to be fair. Others are harder. Others are harder.
I mean, I
do
might
kind
add
of also
somewhere.
want to do something for Lashara,
Yeah.
who has already got her subclass.
Oh
but I
yeah,
think
because
in the way of fairness, guys,
yeah,
we need to do something for them.
yeah, no, definitely. But like, I might add some like I might just write out Dan's childhood and send you the backstory, just for the sole purpose of when people ask what his childhood was like, he has one.
You've got something solid, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and that will help me with my generation of your little plot.
Yeah, we can make his dad the Gidagamthor. I think that is.
Oh well, the god giant.
Yeah.
Who died 10,000 years ago?
Yeah, Dan's really old.
I mean, Dan is a double elf.
He is in fact a double elf. that moment was my favourite interaction of the campaign. Without a shadow of doubt.
I asked that question last week. Do you want to explain that moment?
Basically, we had just finished killing some things. This is like the combat, which I said was my favourite combat. This is the
6 hours, 6 hour long combat.
6 hour long combat. Yeah. So this is the session after. Yeah. And we'd like looted and we were chilling by a campfire and we were talking about stuff, right? So but the whole premise of our group is that everyone's a half elf apart from Dan. That like everyone's a half elf. They're not, obviously.
I mean, one person's an elf.
Yeah. Oh, but one person's an elf. But like in character, everyone's a half elf and a Goliath. Obviously, Goliath being Dan. But Dan's logic is that because everyone's a half elf, Dan is a half elf, right? Like that's how the logic started. So we were talking, and then like, yeah, Dan was a half elf, and he was like, "You guys are just really smart." And then he was like, "Oh, if you guys are half elves, because I'm double your height, I'm an elf." And then Lila said that she was an elf, and I was like, "Oh, so if you're an elf and I'm double your height, I'm a double elf." And Tyr agreed.
Tyr was like, "Yep, yeah, that's logic."
Tyr was like, "Yeah, I agree with that," because Tyr is also a similar height to Dan. So yeah, so Dan's a double elf. He's not, by the way. For people listening, he's a Goliath. Like he's not. He's nothing to do with any elfing. He is a tall Goliath with face markings. Doesn't look like an elf at all. But in Dan's eyes, he's an elf. So yeah.
And after that, I think that brings us on nicely to our horror story.
I'm excited for this one.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I am.
Right. Okay. So I'm not going to read the TLDR first, because I think it ruins the plot. But it's a long ass story. But the title is D&D player doesn't understand the concept of roleplay. Okay. Any opinions before we start?
I mean, it's an interesting title, right? I guess we'll find out. I don't know.
About 3 or 4 months ago, I started playing D&D 50 as a group of friends as we were graduating high school. That's me, Rogue, my 2 good friends, one of which plays Bard. He graduated with me. The other playing a Warlock, he's a junior in college. And then the other 2 players connected to the Warlock, Cleric, his girlfriend, and Wizard, the Warlock's middle-aged neighbour. Then there was the DM, who is another friend of Warlock that goes to his school. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that Wizard is the problem player. He's a major old-school D&D fanatic, like 1st edition old, which it's not that old.
Nah. 1st edition really didn't come up awfully 40? Long ago. Yeah. Middle-aged man.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
He's just a middle-aged man. That's all there is to it.
If he's 40, I'm 15 years younger than him, which is terrifying.
I'm 20. Yeah. Well, 19.
You're a
But
young man.
yeah, a young man.
And does not seem to understand 50, nor does he have any intention of learning, which is immediately a red flag. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't want to learn 5th, why are you playing 5th?
I agree. No, I agree. That's a bit mad.
He was, however, itching to play because he hadn't played in years, and Warlock saw no reason to not let him. We all ended up meeting at Warlock's house to play. So our campaign is heavily focused on the Shadowfell plane. We initially met in an inn and were ambushed by some demons from the Shadowfell. As we sleep, only to be rescued by a ranger DMPC. That seems familiar. Yeah, the DM is a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. We were able to flee without trouble as the ranger leads us to a mysterious city that has been recently terrorized by entities of the Shadowfell. Over the next few sessions, the party, by large, decided to explore the city for clues about the Shadowfell and why they were attacking the real world. We end up finding a cult that explains to us how to enter the Shadowfell. The cult tells us about a magical song that could open the portal for us mortals to cross, which is a cool little plot point. I really like that. That's a really fun way of doing it.
Yeah.
At this point, we had some little combat. At this point, we had some but little combat, which seemed to annoy the wizard. He, in character, says, "Oh, great, more dialogue. When am I going to get a chance to kill something? Maybe I should start with you people." The cult, mind you, he was supposed to be lawful good.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Off to a blazing start. I think I'd have got rid of him then.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, "This is a heavily RP campaign. Please leave." We move on and head off to the sacred abandoned temple to learn this song, and Wizard seemingly gets his wish. On the road to this temple, we are attacked by all manner of entities in the Shadowfell, from demons and devils to a displacer beast to beholders to these fucking Shadowkai assassins that we just can't seem to shake. We enjoyed it though, and Wizard got his wish, which was more combat. But then we make it to the city where the temple is located. We are greeted by city guards who lead us to a priest who explains to us that we will need to meet with the high priest of the city for a specific key that hasn't been used in a millennia in order to go into the temple catacombs and learn the song. When we get to the high priest wizard, has pretty much tuned out as warlock, cleric, and we do most of the talking to convince the high priest to help us. We are at his keep, attempting to convince him to let us have the key, and it's in his keep shrine. He's on the fence and decides to pray on it. Once he gets on his knees to pray, he enters the trance, and Wizard finally snaps and kills the high priest. We all freak out in character, and he says he was taking too long. He's more useful to us for his XP anyway. We all know where he keeps the key, so he's obviously metagaming. His character had no rational reason to do this. When we point this out to him out of character, he says, "I don't give a fuck. He was annoying me." But now we have a bigger problem, as the high priest obviously has guards that attack us. Wizard tries to rescue us, reassure us that we have the upper hand because they are all level 1. We are level 3 and massively outnumbered. The guard beat us and arrest us. As we're getting arrested, Wizard accused us of bad strategy and resource management and goes over all the ways we could have hypothetically won. We are a bit irritated. He's clearly using his character to vent his frustration out at us for some reason. That was 100% his fault. But that's not all. Cleric attempted to reason with the guards, appealing to their shared faith and apologizing for Wizard's actions, hypothesizing that Wizard may have been temporarily possessed. Shadowfell entities and therefore could not be legally responsible for what happened. To our benefit, the guards bought it, and our party would be granted an audience with the Marquis of the city for fair accounting of what happened. This would be a perfect opportunity for us to explain to the authorities our solution to the Shadowfell threat and maybe work together. Once we get to the Marquis's keep, Wizard says, "I only counted 5 guards and 1 pampered noble. A rookie mistake." We beg him not to do what he's thinking, but he decides to cast Lightning Bolt on the Marquis and demand the other spellcasters start firing spells at the other guards, believing that we can win as we are restrained. The Marquis is killed, and the idiot Wizard asks, "How much XP does that get us? Are we able to level up yet?" A horde of guards pour in and attack us. The DM is merciful enough to let us wiggle our way out of the chains, and we end up escaping with the exception of Wizard and the cleric. The former didn't even try to escape. After he died, he started cursing and yelling at us and asking why we fled. We told him it was an unwinnable situation, and he brought this on himself. Now we will have to sneak back into the late priest's keep to steal his key. I remember I told Wizard that he made the whole thing way harder than it needed to be, but we were up for the challenge, so roll a new character. Wizard just got angry and again started pointing out all the ways we could have won. We couldn't. And that we are too pussy to actually fight. He then goes on a rant about how D&D is not about sneaking around or role-playing for hours on end. It's about fucking combat. He's now clearly pissed off IRL. He eventually ended up calling Cleric, who was again his friend's girlfriend, a dumb bitch after she told him to stop yelling. Warlock then got angrier than he ever has and told him in no uncertain terms that he was to get out of his house immediately. Wizard told us the next day over text he wasn't coming back because how rude we were and apparently don't know how to play a real D&D. So yeah, honestly, in my opinion, good riddance, but what an asshole. I've never seen my friend get that angry, but I get it. TLDR, an old school combat-only D&D player with a murder hobo tendency to get butthurt when he dies and decides to be nasty to the party before ditching the game. Not that we want him playing with us anyway.
That is... Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. That is... Wow.
There were so many red flags in that.
So many. I feel like he should have been gone so much earlier than he was.
Yeah, really.
That is mental, and I can't believe after all that they told him to re-roll a character and continue playing. Like after all of the problems, they just went, "Oh, just make a new one." Like it's cool. Like you can still play. Oh dear, that is. Oh, I would have rejected him so quickly.
Yeah, like he's killed 2 major NPCs.
that is mental. That is so mental. Oh my god!
Crazy story.
Oh dear. But like, he's a first edition player, right? Like 1E, like the first edition wasn't even like non-role playing. Let's combat everyone. Combat was like harder to like go through because it was less detailed, right? So like, I don't know how he's just decided that D&D is just kill everything. That is oh Jesus Christ. Yeah, that is
there's a comment here that's he's not old school player, he's a dick. Old school play style is definitely about sneaking around and role playing to get allies and avoid combat. He's a moron. Another comment. Precisely what I was thinking. I remember old school D&D. This man doesn't seem like he had the patience for creeping down a dungeon corridor step by step with a 10-foot pole extended in front of him, tapping every floor and wall tile, terrified of a trap that had waste resources trying to escape. Combat veered far more on the lethal side of things than it does today. You were trying your hardest to avoid it at all costs. A lot of dungeons, not all, but that sort of thing, to build up reputation, felt more like meat grinders. Which I think is a fair assessment. From what I've heard of first edition, it was like brutal.
Yeah. No, it was definitely like a brutal thing. So he either did not play first edition or thought he played first edition and he was playing like 4th edition or something. I don't know how he would have done that, but he might. I don't know. It's a kind of pull from the DM for not kicking him out sooner. I feel like I would have kicked him out very quickly.
But is that possibly like a part of being in person? Because in like when we play in Discord online, I can just block someone from the server like mid game.
Yeah,
and I never have to interact with them again.
But
in person, you've got to have that interaction of you need to leave.
Yeah, I guess. I can see that, but then I feel like there's a certain limit to how often you can let someone get away with things. Like if you meet someone and they go, "I don't want to learn 5e,"
why are they in the game?
Yeah, like that's or if you want to give them a chance, like that's strike one. But then I know, like there's really not much else. He complained about not having to kill people. Probably not far into the campaign, and then did it again, and then just killed people of his own velation, nothing to do with his character, just because he
absolutely not.
He metagamed as and then they still told him to re-roll. He has gone way. Absolutely he must be ruining the sessions. There is absolutely no way you can keep him in that long. I think
no.
Obviously, he's an awful player, right? But the DM, as much as they could be a great DM, that is a poor job from the DM and the group, to be fair, for not saying anything in that aspect.
100%. 100%.
Out of hand. Damn. I don't understand people who can be like that, who can just be like, oh, yeah, I don't really like role-playing part of D&D. It's literally literally an RPG. It's a role-playing game.
That baffles me. I mean, I much prefer role-play to combat.
I like combat, but role-play makes it interesting, and then combat.
The role-play fuels the combat. You can't have the role-play. You can't have the combat without the role-play.
Yeah. I agree. Especially for a campaign, yeah, definitely. It's very, very concerning to just have a player like that. But yeah, it's poor from the DM. He should have absolutely removed him from the game.
Yeah.
See,
for me, what's poor about this is he seemed to be attacking other players in the campaign.
Yeah.
But the second he turned on his own girlfriend, the DM was like, "That's the line for me." Whereas I don't think you can do that. I hate saying this because it sounds so fucking cringy. But as a DM, it's your job to protect your current players from anyone. Your job is to protect the majority from from one that's disrupting their fun. I hate saying it, but it is to a degree the truth.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know, man. It's just weird how you can go into D&D and just be like, oh, combat. I mean, don't get me wrong. The first time I played D&D, I did start because I thought the combat stuff was interesting. But it's not like I was so opposed to role playing and made it difficult for everyone. I role played still because that is the whole essence of D&D. So
yeah. If you hear about someone telling you a D&D story, they're like, oh, we did this, we did that. And it's normally a roleplay situation where they've done something out of combat that's really cool.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you hear we had this amazing combat, we did this and we did that and we did this. Because the combat is it's much more mechanically heavy than the roleplay aspect of things.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's also things you can role play in combat, so
oh, absolutely, yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah, that's the word I'd use to describe that. Very interesting. Yeah, a bit shocking, but
a bit shocking.
Yeah,
I think on the scaling a horror story that is so much worse than the one we had last week.
Oh god, last week was just there was just some issues and stuff, but this week is just that was a bit.
Last week was either OP is a dick or group is a dick. This is that guy's an asshole. That guy is.
Yeah, there's not even. Dickhead. It's not even there's missing.
There's not a conversation there.
Yeah, he's straight up just not a good person. It's just shit behavior. Oh well. Yeah, it is what it is.
So I think that sort of brings us towards the end of episode 2. We're going to get some friends on next week. We're going to have some people with us.
Yeah, people week next week.
Hopefully. We've had confirmation from 2 of them.
Yeah.
So both people have agreed. We just need to find the day to record. But no, they are 2 of when I first started DMing seriously. I've been DMing them for now, I think, almost 2 years, very close to 2 years. Pretty continuously, which I think for an online group is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But they are your They're in your party. They are your fellow.
Yes. They are fellow party guys in the campaign.
Fellow party goers. We can discuss a bit about some theories that you guys have got about going ahead, and we'll just generally chat some more D&D.
Yeah.
Remember that we are on all the major podcast streaming services. We are on Amazon Music. We are on Google, Spotify, Zencaster, YouTube as well. If you want to look at our beautiful faces,
and you can do that on Spotify now, believe it or not.
You can do it on Spotify.
Yeah. But yeah, that's everything, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week, guys. Bye.